joined today to some of my Facebook, or not my Facebook, I apologize, to my YouTubers. And, you know, um, the reason for this little message I want to put out there was today I had a conversation with some of the students where I work at. And there was a thing that happened there, and it reduced to one teacher uh, into tears. And when I found out about it, I went to the class. I went to speak to some of the students there, and it was kind of a disappointment because Mexicans, Latinos, Chicanos, Hispanics, whatever they want to label us as, and it saddens my heart that um, it's hard because it's hard to discuss about this. But it saddens my heart because the way a lot of these young people today, it's like they have so much lack of respect for the elders, lack of respect for authority, and those that are just there to try to help. And it kills me, especially when it comes from our people, our culture, the Mexican culture, the Hispanic culture, Latino culture, the Chicano culture. And because when we're being raised, when we're being brought up to show respect, to honor those that are above us, that are our elders. Um, they teaches us about integrity and doing the right thing. Now, like I said, it kills me. It kills me to see how this younger generations of I just refer it to as Chicanos, how they have a lack of respect for authorities, whether it's toward another person like myself, someone from our own culture, or even if it's from uh, other ethnicities. So, one thing I did when I did speak to the class was that I told them, I don't understand why you guys would do something like this. I thought you guys were better than this. I think our people are better than this. Um, and I looked down and I pointed this and I go, do you guys know what this word means? Or do you guys know what that word is? And they looked at me and I heard them say, Raza, Raza. I go, yeah, what does it mean? And they go, oh, it means race. And I go, no, but what does it mean to you? What does Raza mean to you? And some of them were just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I go, well, you know what, guys? I go, here's the thing. This word right here, Raza, and my experience and my life growing up in California in the 70s and the 80s, Chicano, being a Chicano was something you're being proud of. Chicano is somebody that has Mexican descent, family members that came from Mexico that live here in America, and you're an Americanized Mexican, you know. And but the Chicanos, um, the term for that changed throughout the years, uh, in the 60s and 70s, and it went from being like Chicano power, which was like being proud of your color, your heritage, being a Mexican American, which was the Cholo culture and everything, the low riders and so forth. So we took pride. We took pride in what we did and who we were as people. So I've always taken pride of it. So so I'm trying to explain to the kids that you know raza means more than just race. La raza means more than just the people. La raza was a term that they used back in the 70s for the people, and it was in it was like in the post Mexican Revolution, and it was in the U.S. Chicano movement in the 70s, which helped elect some of the first Latino Hispanics into public office. And you know, so it was made for a purpose because it was something that we took pride in. The way I feel and the way I see it, and this is what I want the kids to understand, is that to me, raza means integrity. It means having pride. It means love. You know, to me, it means family. When I mean pride, is like you take pride of who you are. You take pride of your culture. We were brought up to be respect. People love the Hispanic culture. People love the Mexican culture. They love our food. They love our music. They love everything. And it's like I always said, Cinco de Mayo is the only day when everybody that doesn't usually like Mexicans wants to be Mexican because everybody wants to celebrate. But then I know there are some of those that were raised around Mexicans, some black kids or black people or white kids, white people, whether they're Asian or whatever. When they're raised around our culture, our people, they learn to adapt and they learn to accept it because it's a passion, it's a love. And and this is where I want the kids to understand is that we work hard as a culture, as people, to rise up and try to better ourselves. Because when people see us, they think of south of the border. People think of us as being illegal or whatever, and they don't think of us as nothing merely but housekeepers, gardeners, landscapers. They think of us as seasonal workers, picking strawberries, picking oranges, all that stuff. And, we come a long way as a people. I mean, we got people that are in the high ranking office in the White House. We have people that are artists, that are musicians. We got people that make history. And because they work hard at it, because they want to break that stereotype of how people want to perceive us. And that was one thing I talked to the kids about, was that I want you guys to really think about how you want to be perceived as a Mexican, as a Latino, as a Hispanic, and as a Chicano, or whatever you want to label yourself as. I tell them, think about how you want to be perceived. Do you want to be perceived as something that's bad, or you want to be perceived as something that's good? Do you want people to look at us as something good, something that gives to our community, our culture, that gives us an uplifting, or we just want to be someone that gives a bad name to us? It's like I said, you got a jar of strawberry jelly, and then you got another jar that says strawberry jelly, but inside it, it's let's say it's brown stuff inside. So people are going to see that, and they're going to see the labels, and they're going to turn around and they're going to be like, hey, I want to taste some of that strawberry. Hey, that label right there, even though it's brown, it says strawberry, so it has to be good. So they go and they taste it. And then when they find out that it's not strawberry, it's at least a bad taste in their mouth. And that thing sticks to their mind, and that, that's all there is. That's how all these jars are going to be like. So that one good jar is going to get tossed. So it's like I try to tell these young ones is that you have to look at it as the good jar and the bad jar. You got one that's labeled that's actually good, and then you got one that's actually bad. So do you want to be perceived as the one that's good, or do you want to be perceived as the one that's bad? Because it only looks good. It shows that it's good because it says strawberry, but in the inside it's rotten. This is where I try to get the kids to understand, is that you could come out and show yourself as this bright kid. You're this, your dad. You could show your mom and your dad. You can show everybody else in your family that you're this and that. But in the inside, when people actually get a taste of who you really are, they're going to think that, hey, that's the way that whole family is, or that's just the way that whole culture is. And I know we're above that. One thing I always try to sort of explain to people too is that, a lot of people want to be the victims. They want to play the part as the victims, but us as the Mexican culture, the Chicano culture, the Mexicanos, we're not victims. We don't play the victim parts. We don't. We rise and above that. We try to show ourselves that we're above that, that we take pride in what we do. That's why you'll see a bunch of people in the streets, homeless, begging for change, begging for food. But you don't see the Hispanics, you don't see Mexicans, you don't see anybody that's Latino out there begging. You might see once in a while, but you're not going to see a whole lot of us out there. Because why? Because we work hard. Because I know that if any of us that has family that came from Mexico or came from, let's say, Valenzuela or Cubano, Puerto Rico, and all that stuff, they come over here for a reason to give their younger ones, their family, a better life. Not for us to go out there and give everybody the reason why we're stereotyped. So, what I do and how I talk with you kids out there, I want you to understand I don't do it to be mean. I don't do it to show I'm some kind of dictator that whatever I say is gold. No, I want you to know that we're better people by the way we already portray ourselves. I know a lot of you guys are good kids. I know you guys are. I've seen you. I've watched you last 4 years grow. And I know we all go through changes in life. But one thing you have to do is take pride in your culture. Take pride in who you are. You know, show love, show integrity, show respect, show passion. And then you guys will understand what Raza is about. This is my definition. This is what how I perceive it in my life, how I was raised. I was raised a military. I was raised a military kid. My dad was a Marine, so my dad taught me everything there is about pride and respect and integrity. And it mixes in with our culture. Because like back in the old days, the cholos back in the old days, man, we took pride in our neighborhoods. We took care of our own. Back in the old days, you hardly seen Raza fight Raza, you know. But now it's like, you know, it's getting bad in the world we live in. But kids, I want you to understand that we are better than that, and you guys need to rise above those expectations where people think that this is all we're going to be, you know. And I hope that I'm able to reach out to some of these kids out there, even if it's not the kids at the school that I deal with. Maybe it could be some other youngsters out there, some of you young blood, some of you teenagers. Never forget who you are. Never try to be something that you're not, and just be who you're meant to be. You know, take pride in our culture. There's no such thing as no Latinx. The X stands for unknown because they don't want to be identified with anything, but all they know is they're Latin. But a lot of you guys are Chicanos. Some of you guys are from are Mexicanos, or your parents are. Take pride in who you are and where your parents come from to get you where you're at today. Please, I beg you, some of you young ones, take it from someone who's lived his life, who's done things and experienced a lot of things. Because I experienced a lot of racism growing up. That's how I know I can speak about it. So please, have some respect for your elders, because that's one thing when we're raised, all Mexicans, any Hispanics, the biggest thing in our childhood growing up is learning respect. Respect those that are older than you. Respect your teachers. Respect the authority. Because without respect, you're nothing. You don't have anything. Like I said, just know I say this because I care for each one of you guys, and that I want to see you guys become something better than what you guys are today. And, you know, even though you're young, but you guys are smart enough. I have always said you guys are smart enough. Adults underestimate the intelligence of kids at times. And I know you guys are better than that. So, with that, I just want to say, you know, all you youngsters out there, take pride in the raza, in that meaning. Take pride of it because we're bigger and we're stronger than what you guys know. And with that, I just want to say, you guys all take care. Thank you to listening for Bus Driver Dave. I know this is a whole different thing. I don't really post too much as of late, but hopefully I can start posting up things that are more inspirational, things that we can talk about and I can help people. And hopefully next time I'll get better lighting. So with that, you guys all take care.